Good morning all. Today we will be discussing the solved question paper subject periodontology. It's for the year 2019. I have divided the paper into part 1, part 2 and part 3. In part 1 there will be long question and one liner. The question paper is here on the screen. Section 1 and section 2. First is long question. Discuss mechanism of bone destruction and pattern of bone loss in periodontal disease. It's for 14 marks. Since the answer question is there for the 14 marks, so presentation will be according to that only. So first of all we will be writing the content, in which we will be writing all the points that we will be discussing in that answer. So in the content we will be discussing introduction, definition, type of bone, mechanism of bone destruction, etiology of bone loss, pattern of bone loss, followed by diagram and conclusion. Introduction. Tissues of periodontium are alveolar process, cementum, periodontal ligament and gingiva. We should always keep the introduction to be very short and it should only have the keywords, so that it's very easy for us to remember. Definition. Alveolar process is defined as a part of maxilla and mandible that form and support the socket of teeth. Development. It develops in conjunction with the development and eruption of teeth and is resolved gradually if the teeth are lost. Near the end of second month of fetal life, the maxilla as well as mandible form the groove that is opened toward the surface of oral cavity. Part of alveolar bone. Alveolar bone proper, it is thin compact bone and supporting alveolar bone. It is consist of cortical plate, which form the outer and the inner plate of the alveoli, and spongiosa or the middle portion, which fills the area between the cortical plate and the alveolar bone proper. Here's the diagram showing the alveolar process, cortical plate and basal bone. Now, composition of bone. It is composed of cellular component, in which osteoblast, osteocytes, bone lining cell and osteoclast are there. Matrix component, inorganic component and organic. In organic component there are collagenous protein and non-collagenous protein. Functions. Alveolar process houses the root of teeth. It anchors the root of teeth to alveoli, which is achieved by insertion of Sharpie's fiber into the alveolar bone proper. Help to move the teeth for better occlusion. Absorb and distribute occlusion forces. Supplies blood vessel to periodontal ligament. House and protect developing permanent teeth while supporting primary teeth. Organize eruption of primary and permanent teeth. Now, mechanism of bone destruction. How resorption take place? The bacteria that is there in the plaque, the lipopolysaccharide, collagenase, interleukin 1, interleukin 6, interleukin 8, tumor necrotic factor and prostaglandin that is liberated by the bacteria. It will upregulate the prostaglandin level, which will act on osteoclast. Osteoclast activation will take place and bone resorption will be there. So this is a multinucleated osteoclast. There is first bacterial factor and other is host factor. In host cell, that are immune cells that are there in the body, and not only immune cell, other cell in the body. When inflammation is there, they will secrete interleukin 1, interleukin 6, tumor necrotic factor, which will increase or upregulate the level of prostaglandin, and hence activation of osteoclast will be there, which lead to resorption of bone. So in mechanism, what is the mechanism of bone resorption? It is the interleukins that are liberated by bacterial as well as the host cell, which increase the level of prostaglandin. This is the main factor which lead to resorption of bone. And now we will be discussing point-wise mechanism of bone resorption that I have shown you diagrammatically. Host and bacterial factor like lipopolysaccharide from gram-negative bacteria activate osteoclast. Cytokine, interleukin 1, interleukin 6, prostaglandin, they are secreted by macrophages, polymorphonucleus neutrophils and endothelial cell. Prostaglandin is the most potent in causing bone resorption. Presence of both osteoblast and osteoclast required for bone resorption. Prostaglandin and cytokine produced by bacteria and immune cell. So it is basically the level of prostaglandin which lead to resorption of bone. Osteoclastic resorption involve first solubilization of mineral phase and then dissolution of the organic matrix. This is the diagram of osteoclast. It is a multinucleated, and once it gets activated by prostaglandin, it will liberate HCl, and which lead to dissolution of mineral. Etiology of bone resorption: extension of gingival inflammation, that is periodontitis, trauma from occlusion, systemic factor, orthodontic treatment, periodontal abscess and food impaction. Periodontitis, most common cause of bone loss. The transition from gingivitis to periodontitis is associated with changes in composition of bacterial plaque. Initially, the bacterial plaque it is made up of gram-positive rods and cocci, and as the plaque matures, the bacteria will be gram-negative and spirochetes. Factor involved are bacterial and host-mediated, that I have already explained you in the slide. Trauma from occlusion. Trauma from occlusion can produce bone destruction either in the absence or presence of inflammation. These changes are reversible in that they can be repaired if the offending forces are removed. Trauma from occlusion produce funnel-shaped widening of crestal portion of periodontal ligament, and vertical bone loss pattern will be there. Next is systemic factor. Systemic disease, example diabetes mellitus, hyperparathyroidism, and other systemic condition like osteoporosis, osteopenia, and other debilitating disease like HIV, they all lead to bone destruction. Coming on to the pattern of bone destruction: horizontal and vertical. Horizontal bone loss. Horizontal bone loss is the most common pattern of bone loss in periodontal disease. Bone is reduced in height, but the bony margin remain roughly perpendicular to the tooth surface. Vertical or angular defect. Vertical or angular defect are those that occur in oblique direction, leaving a hollowed out tuft in the bone along the side of root. The base of the defect is located apical to the surrounding bone. Angular defects are classified according to Goldman and Cohen in 3-wall defect, 2-wall defect, 1-wall defect, which is also known as hemiseptum. 3-wall defect is the defect in which 3 osseous walls are there. 2-wall defect is a defect in which 2 osseous walls are there. 1-wall defect is a defect in which only 1 osseous wall is remaining. The diagrammatic representation: osseous crater. Osseous crater are concavities in the crest of interdental bone confined within the facial and lingual wall. This is a concavity on the crest of interdental bone which is confined within the facial and the lingual wall. Crater has been found to be made up of about one third of all the defect and about 2/3 of all the mandibular defect. That means they are so common. They are twice as common in posterior segment as in anterior segment. Reason for high frequency of interdental craters are: the interdental area collect plaque and is difficult to clean. The normal flat or even concave facial-lingual shape of interdental septum in lower molar may favor crater formation. That is, first is interdental area. It collect more of the plaque and the area is difficult to clean. And the flat surface or flat or concave shape of the interdental septum, it also favor the formation of crater, and the vascular pattern from gingiva to the center of the crest provide a pathway of inflammation. Reverse architecture. These defects are produced by loss of interdental bone. See, the interdental bone is lost and the radicular bone is still intact. These defects are produced by loss of interdental bone, including the facial and lingual plate. without loss of radicular bone, and thereby reversing the normal architecture pattern of the bone that was there before. These defects are more common in maxillary region. Ledges are plateau-like bone margin. These are plateau, flat surface. Ledges are plateau-like bone margin caused by resorption of thickened bony plate. This is a plateau. So these are flat surfaces which are caused by the resorption of thickened bony plate, buttressing bone formation or lipping. Bone formation sometimes occur in an attempt to buttress bone trabeculae weakened by resorption. Whenever excess forces are there on a tooth, in order to bear the forces, the buttressing of bone will take place, as it is seen in trauma from occlusion. When it occurs within the jaw, it is termed as central buttressing bone formation. When it occurs on the external surface, it is referred to as peripheral buttressing bone formation. The latter may cause bulging of bone contour. This is known as lipping. Now, bulbous bony contour. These are bulbous enlargement caused by exostosis. It is an adaptation to function or buttressing. Exostosis, overgrowth of bone of varied size and shape. They can occur as a small nodule, large nodule, sharp ridges, spike-like projection, or any combination of these. Furcation involvement. Furcation involvement definition is invasion of bifurcation and trifurcation of multi-rooted teeth by periodontal disease. The mandibular first molar are most common tooth involved. Coming on to the fenestration and dehiscence. Fenestration are isolated area in which root is denuded of bone and the root surface is covered only by periosteum and overlying gingiva, and this is known as fenestration. So what is important in fenestration? It's a bony defect that is covered with the gingiva, and I'll be showing you the diagram of same. Consider this is a case in which incision is given and we have raised the flap, and once we have raised the flap, then if we can see the bony defect like this is dehiscence, which is continuation. But if there is a hole in the bone like this after raising the flap, this is fenestration. Fenestration, when there is a hole, fenestrated, and this is dehiscence. Now back to dehiscence. In these instances, the marginal bone is intact when the denuded area extends through the marginal bone. When the denuded area extends, repeating again, the denuded area extends through the marginal bone, the defect is called dehiscence. It is normally seen on root having prominent contours, malpositioning of teeth, labial protrusion of root combined with thin bony plates. Food impaction. Interdental bone defect often occur when proximal contact is abnormal or absent. Pressure and irritation from food impaction contribute to inverted bony architecture. So, writing conclusion part. The response of alveolar bone to inflammation, including bone formation as well as resorption. Thus, bone loss in periodontal disease is not simply a destructive process but result from the predominance of resorption over formation. So this is the end of our long question. Now coming on to the one-liners question. Cytokine. Cytokine are a group of protein, peptide or glycoprotein secreted by various cells and are involved in cell signaling, mediate and regulate immune response and inflammatory reaction. They are pro-inflammatory cytokine, interleukin 1, interleukin 6, anti-inflammatory cytokine, interleukin 4, interleukin 10 and interleukin 1 receptor antagonist. I have written 2-3 lines because it will be easy for you to mug up any of the line. Stippling. The gingiva present a textured surface like that of orange peel and it is referred to as being stippled. Stippling is best viewed by drying the gingiva. The attached gingiva is stippled and the marginal gingiva is not. The central portion of interdental papilla is usually stippled but the marginal border are smooth. Stippling is a feature of normal healthy gingiva. Plunger cusp. It is that cusp of a tooth which forces the food into gap between the opposing two teeth. Treatment is selective grinding. Tripod effect. Tripod effect is seen in modified pen grasp. The thumb, index finger and the middle finger are used to hold the instrument as the pen is held, but the middle finger is positioned so that the side of pad next to the fingernail is resting on the instrument shank. This creates a triangle of force or tripod effect that enhances the better control of instrument. Pathological migration refer to the tooth displacement that result when the balance between the factor that maintain physiological tooth position is disturbed by periodontal disease. Seen in trauma from occlusion and pressure from the tongue. Acellular cementum. Acellular cementum is the first cementum or first form cementum which cover approximately the cervical third or half of the root and that does not contain any cells. The thickness is 30 to 215 micrometer. Thank you so much.